Well, it's Colon Cancer Awareness Month. You're supposed to get a colonoscopy when you turn 50.
And since I do tomorrow, I wanted to do what I'm asking you viewers to do. Have a colonoscopy. You're to have the procedure at this half-century mark of your life or earlier if you have symptoms or a family history. And guess what? It's really not that bad.
It's early morning and I'm walking, more like hobbling, down the hall of the South Carolina Endoscopy Center with my nurse and Dr. Raj Vasudeva of Consultants in Gastroenterology. Since I turned 50, I want to be an example and encouragement to you to get tested.
If you have to sit, okay. Got a couple of papers for you to sign.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death. It affects men and women the same. African Americans have a higher death rate from colon cancer.
So right now in South Carolina, there are going to be about 2,000 new cases of colon cancer. That's about 6 a day. There's going to be about 800 deaths this year from colon cancer. So somewhere between 2 and 3 a day, people will die of colon cancer in our state.
As a way to make having the preparation for a colonoscopy more bearable, some other women and I were part of a party, a colon cleansing party. Consultants in Gastroenterology and the Center for Colon Cancer Research at USC hosted the event as a way to motivate those who are due for a screening to make it a fun activity, as a way to prompt more people to get tested. One of the guests at the party was celebrating her 20th year of being free of colon cancer. She had been diagnosed at a time when colonoscopies were not routine screenings.
20 years ago, it wasn't something that so wonderfully like you're doing now that they did. So I was like one of the first people that really started it. So, yes, so 20 years ago. I'm very grateful.
After our screening, the other women and I were treated to quite the breakfast spread, a nice treat after having to go a day without food. The spread was complete with a get screened cake. You can tell what it is. Speaking of cake, the biggest risk factor in getting colon cancer is the number of candles on your birthday cake. The older you are, the more chances you have of developing colon cancer. This video is of Dr. March Seabrook's colonoscopy.
The single best test to detect and remove precancerous polyps is a colonoscopy. And really our focus should be on preventing colon cancer, not detecting it.
So if a polyp is found, it's taken out before it becomes cancerous. But a polyp can only be found if you have the colonoscopy. After waking from the procedure, I received the good news that no polyps were found. So I don't have to have another colonoscopy for 10 years. You may not think going through the procedure is much of a party, but it sure beats getting a diagnosis of colon cancer, something that can be prevented by getting screened.
If you are uninsured or underinsured, there are ways you can get a colonoscopy. Contact the Center for Colon Cancer Research at USC at 803-777-1231 for information on resources. And guys, I'm holding this golf ball. Dr. Raj Vasudeva has the ball that says the Vasudeva Classic, and he puts on there the year that I'll have to return. So since no polyps were found, I get, as I said in the story, 10 years. And then he also decorates it a little bit with you know, some things you love, which he knows my biggest thing I enjoy doing is running.
Wow.
But he just puts these little notes on here. So this is something I keep in my Green Bay Packers, because I lived in, I just can't get this the right direction. I lived in Green Bay for my first TV job. And so, but this is a good reminder that, it's a good reminder, and I keep it up at the desk. One, because it's a talking piece, you know, and just to encourage other people. Now, both of you are years from having to have one. But you know what? There are a lot of you watching right now who are overdue for one, and you get it, you get the colonoscopy when you turn 50, unless you have a family history, then you get it earlier, or if you have symptoms. But what's so amazing about this is not like a mammogram or prostate exam. This is something that if you go and have this done, if you have polyps, which would become cancerous, they'll get it right then. You can prevent getting the cancer. Yeah, and you can prevent it. That's the thing. A lot of these tests you do, it's to find the cancer. This is a test to prevent the cancer.
Well, and one of those myths that I think people think is that it's going to, for lack of better terms, tear you apart. And you were saying that it really was not that bad.
For two reasons. One, the amount that you drink now is so minimal. It is like 5 ounces of a solution with 5 glasses of water over a 4-hour period, then another 5 ounces of the solution with 2 glasses of water. And then because I'm a plant-based whole foods eater and don't eat meat and stuff, it was a lot easier on my system, which is why and you fast that day. So you know what? Become plant-based for a couple weeks, people. It'll be easier.
There you go. And you came out of it with a party favor.
Yeah, with a party favor, indeed.
And the lead story, 50 tomorrow.
Yes.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Book 'em, Dano. She's 5'0".